All right, I want to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator for designing logos or whatever you want for the shape or origin and be able to save it as an SVG file. So when you first open up Illustrator, you won't have anything down here unless you've used Illustrator before to work on designs. So if you download the template for 6 AIC, you can find that on the Shaper Tools website. It's the Adobe Illustrator template to use with the Shaper origin. So once you download it, you can go to Open, find it in your downloads, and choose it. And so I'm going to open it up. When you first start with Illustrator, it's going to have this kind of layout for you. And it's not the ideal layout for editing for print. So if you come to this tool right up here, it says Switch Workspace, choose Printing and Proofing. It'll give you more options for design aspects. All right, when you first open up the file, right now I'm on my magnifying glass, which is Z. And since it has the plus sign right here, I can zoom in. And what I want to do is show you, this is what they require. So a white fill with a black stroke is an interior cut. A black fill with a black stroke is an exterior cut. Online cut is the gray outline. And the gray fill is a pocketing cut. And this blue color is just the guide. Now, I'm not sure if they required this specific gray for the project to recognize the file. So just in case, I'm going to come over here and choose the eyedropper tool. And if you go over and you click in the area and come back over here, it gives you the gray color that you chose. Now you can double click this to open up your color picker. And as you can see right here, the color is 7F, 7F, 7F. So instead of having to pick this color each time, just maybe write that down, put it on the side of your computer just so you know what color the gray is. And now I'm going to choose OK. So I'm going to use my zoom tool again. And if you hold down Alt or Option, depending on if you're using Windows or a Mac, it's going to give you the negative of the magnifying glass. But if you let go, it gives back to positive. So I'm going to hold down Option and click to zoom out. And it gives you, you see, it gives you a very large workspace. Now let's say you want to do a very specific design. Someone drew something, you need to convert it to an SVG. So I downloaded a logo just to give you an idea. Oops. What I did was I grabbed this and dragged it to the surface. Or what you can do, I'm going to delete it. You can do File, Place. And it's in my downloads, the bear, and Place. See how it's connected to your mouse? You can place it wherever you want on your workspace. You just click. Now currently, I'm still in my magnifying glass, but I want to choose the bear. I want to make it bigger. So I'm going to choose the selection tool, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make it larger by dragging it. But as you can see, it's not doing it in scale. So to make it work and enlarge in scale, hold Shift while you are dragging, which will give you the exact measurements that you need as far as the scale is concerned. and then you can just click off of it. Now, currently, if I were to do something on top of this, it'll put it on a layer. Right here is your layers. And if for some reason your layers aren't on your side panel right here, you can always find any of your windows in Window Layers. Okay. But if I make any changes on here or put something on top, it's going to add a layer within this. So I want to make sure that the bear doesn't move while I am working on it. So I'm going to choose it and go to Object, Lock, Selection. Now I can't move it like I was able to before. So let's say that we want to cut out all the black area, okay? Right now you don't need to worry so much about what colors to use because we can change that at the end. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to work on this leg. Now I'm going to choose my pen tool, and currently my pen tool shows the gray fill with no stroke, and the stroke is the outline. So we don't want it to fill in as we're working because they're not going to be able to see what's underneath. So let's go ahead and use this arrow right here and flip it. So now there will be no fill, and it's like we're going to be drawing with a gray line. So in the pen tool, I'm going to click, which will give me a square, which is your anchor point. Now, where you click again, if you click and drag at the same time, it gives you handles that you can adjust curves. Click and drag. I'm going to click. And just do your best to getting the lines as close as possible initially. It's going to take a little practice. As long as you keep clicking and dragging, or if you want to put just an anchor point because you're going in another direction, you can click and drag, click and drag. And then if you go back to your original anchor point, if you click on it, it will close your design. So I'm going to open up my layers again, and I'm going to turn the eye off of the bear so you can see what our shape is. So I'll turn it back on, and like right here, we want to make an adjustment, okay? So zoom in, and if you click on the pen and hold the click down, you can go to Anchor Point tool, which allows you to make any adjustments you need to your anchor points to make sure that your curves are how you want it to be. You could just adjust the handles. You can make one handle shorter than the other if it needs to be curved more in one direction than the other. And you can also use the arrows on your keyboard to move your anchor points up and down if you need. Okay, so going back to my pen tool, I'm going to want to now zoom back out. Remember, hold Option or Alt. And let's do the eye. Oh, let's do the nose, so because it has a bunch of curves. I'll go back to my pen. So I'm going to start by clicking, click and drag, click and drag. And it doesn't matter how many anchor points you have with the shaper tool. It's just going to read the end result that created. line. Okay. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and as you can see, my line is a little bit off. So I'm going to go back to my pen, click, hold it down, and choose the anchor. And so I'm going to make some adjustments to make sure that it is how I want it to be. So now we have the nose done, but you're like, oh no, where did my line go for this part? It's still going to be there. It's going to be in your paths in your layers palette. All of this in this group is the shaper colors, and this is the file that we put in. So I'm going to continue outlining the bear, and I'll play this part and fast forward. Okay, I look like I have all the parts outlined, and here are all my paths. So I'm going to turn this off. Oh, no, I forgot the chin. Now let's see. Yep, that looks right. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is, let's say you want to leave the top, the white part uncut and the black part cut out. Or like a, what is it called, a pocket cut? Yeah, pocket cut. To make sure that you have the right color lines. And the pocket cut is going to be a gray fill. So using my black arrow, I'm going to choose the path, the various paths. Now if you choose one path, if you click on the line, and if you hold shift and click on other lines, you can choose multiples. And so I want to fill in those with the gray color. So I'm going to 7F, 7F, 7F. Okay. But this one, the chin part, we don't want to cut that out. So we're going to arrange these in the right order. So if this happened to be, let's say at the bottom, like that was one of the first things I did, I would want to bring that to the top, because think of it like as a layer cake, right? So you want to bring this to the top, and let's just say we want to do this as an on-line cut. So we need to fill it in with white. So I have this path chosen, and I'm going to come here and double click it, scroll all the way to the top of the white, and hit OK. So now this is going to cut as a pocket cut and leave this as just the raised area as the rest of the white is. So I'm going to zoom out, and I can turn off the eye on my file and save this. You may want to go ahead and just for now move this off because Illustrator only saves what is in your artboard, which is this. So it's nice because you can always keep this off the side and bring it back for your next file. So now I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to title it Bear. And right here is SVG. Save. And just say OK. And it's going to be wherever you saved it. There is the bear file.